Hello and welcome back to Otaku Oasis Podcast. Today we are reviewing the first two Dragon Ball movies, which, oh man, I really should have pulled up the titles for these before I began. Let's see, what the first one was,
It's Dragon Curse of the Blood Rubies, and then the second one is the Sleeping Princess at Devil's Castle.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you. And I'm joined again by Connor.
Hello, everybody.
So, is this the first time you've seen these movies? Because I know for sure it is for me.
Yeah, it was the first time I've seen these. It was an interesting watch. I'll say that much. Takes you back, makes you humble after seeing how far Dragon Ball has gone with their movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's honestly it was really weird, but I don't know, just like what were your overall thoughts on it?
As a standalone film, the first one, Dragon Ball Curse of the Blood Rubies, it's decent. It goes over a lot. It goes over a lot of the regular first part of Dragon Ball, but instead of having the peel off crew, it just cuts them out and has this new crew. I forget what the name of their crew is.
It's
but
King Groom Hayes and like his lackeys, who I forget the name of. The one of them has like a card in Dokkan.
Yes, that is correct. I noticed that. I'm like, hey, that's the character from the card. I don't know her name, but I see her on the screen.
Yeah, I'm like my only way of knowing these movies is technically from the events that Dokkan had in the game.
Exactly. No, I didn't think it was too bad. What were your thoughts?
I definitely at least like I mean I know and like early Dragon Ball definitely has like given me laughs before, but I was not expecting to like I laughed pretty hard at like some of the movie's jokes that were kind of original in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, they did some really good original stuff.
yeah, but I mean also like you said, it's very much like an abridged version of like the two arcs that they cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of, what did you think of like because okay, was it just me or like did the little girl from the first movie give you like kind of the Chi-Chi vibes?
Chi-Chi in which aspect? Are we talking about Chi-Chi as a child or adult Chi-Chi? Because those are
Chi-Chi.
two totally different characters, basically.
The Chi-Chi that we see in the Pilaf saga. I should specify, yeah.
Um, I guess I kind of see it. I'm.
I'm not saying
That's a tough.
really, but like
She definitely took more initiative than Chi-Chi did in the show.
yeah. I
But
mean,
going after to find Roshi, I guess. Yeah, you know what? Now that you're mentioning it, going off to find Roshi, trying to get the um Boshin fan.
mhm.
Um, yeah, that's kind of. Yeah, I guess she did fill the role of Chi Chi. So, I didn't
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
notice that, but yeah, now that you mention it, yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously the movies are like entirely not canon, but I was just like comparing it to the Pilaf saga. Also, the action at
Mhm.
the end was like super quick, like done within like a minute type quick.
Well, I mean, we know where Gogeta's fight came from now in the first Dragon Ball
I
Gogeta
mean,
movie. That
I mean, except that they didn't even technically defeat the main antagonist in this one. They literally just used Shenron to destroy his form, which I find actually kind of funny. But
yeah. I mean, yeah. To go reiterate that, can we just say that Bulma has a higher kill count than Goku at this point with that move?
oh
Going
yeah,
off of the movies,
oh yeah, for sure.
like she straight up got a bunch of people killed when she
Yeah,
did that.
oh yeah, no kidding. And all for basically the nature of the village to come back. I'm like, well, gonna push back for those lives, but whatever.
I mean, let's be honest though. Tree and Might basically did the same thing when they burnt down the forest.
I guess that's true.
But
The tree of my movie, the burning forest, is just this village's forest.
basically, I love how they ask for peace and prosperity, and Shenron just rips all the rubies out of the ground. My literal first thought is, how is that helping?
Well, I guess I have to ask this question. Did you watch it in dub or sub?
I watched it in. Okay, this is actually a really funny story. So I was trying to find it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking because I'm going to stream cast it to our TV at my house, and I find the dubbed version on Facebook. Some reason, out of
That's
all
so
places.
that is a very interesting place to find it.
Yeah, so I was streaming Facebook on my TV to watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah, so you watched it in dub
I watched
version?
it. Yeah, I could tell that Goku's voice actor was different. However, I think everybody else's was the same.
Yeah, I watched subs, so I was hearing basically Masako Sawa back when she was still like playing young Goku, which is really different from adult Goku, surprisingly. Um,
Hmm.
like it's definitely higher pitched, but I also feel like over time, because like if you were to hear young Goku now compared to then, it's definitely a bit closer to adult Goku. Like, because I think like the lines for Goku GT that you see in like Dragon Ball Fighter Z and whatnot are new lines. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm like that is higher than what it normally is, but maybe it's also the way that she did it in GT, so I don't know on that front. But also the wish must have been different then, because I was watching it sub and basically she asked to get rid of all the blood rubies.
That explains it. Yeah, no, her wish is just for peace and nature to come back to the land.
Yeah, like she wishes for nature to come back, but she also wishes to get rid of all the blood rubies.
Yeah, in the dub they did not explain that, so it was ripping that out of the ground, and that just confused me. It's like,
That is
and okay, unsoiling the land or
yeah, I'm like
what?
no, I'm like yeah, no that explains quite a bit. I'm like really, it's explained quite well in the sub version, but I mean it's what happens when you try and change things to fit lip flaps.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh understands that one.
Well, I mean, 4Kids just outright changed content entirely, but
Yeah, but that was 4Kids. If you watched anime on 4Kids, you were having a special treat.
yeah, I mean, Pokemon was okay at best. Like
Yeah.
when it came to changes, but some were pretty just down atrocious. Cough cough, One Piece, cough cough.
I still love the fact this is off the topic of Dragon Ball on Pokemon, but there is a literal scene where Ash tells one of the nurses at the healing
Mhm.
center, I just fought Ho Ho. And you see the nurse's face like actually react to a kid just saying, I threw a rat at a god and won. Just saying.
Yeah. Gosh.
How many other kids do you know could do that?
Not many.
Anyways, back onto kids. So, do you know what's the most weird thing between the so for the dubbing with the Curse of the Blood Rubies and Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle?
What about them?
They still don't have, even between the two, they still don't have Goku's voice actor. Or I believe it just could have been the audio quality, but everybody else sounds on point. I was expecting when I went to Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle that Krillin's voice actor would have been like completely different. Sounds the same as a 12-year-old who smoked a pack of cigarettes for 6 years before.
Yeah.
I was confused on how that works. Like this is still Krillin's voice, so why can't they get Goku?
It may have just been, because I don't know, like what version is like most majority out there for the dub one, but it's because like Kid Goku has a different different voice actress between the two, I believe, by the looks of it, at least.
Yeah, that doesn't. I guess that doesn't overly surprise me. I mean, it was Funimation's early days,
Mm-hmm.
though. What'd you think of Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle?
I really liked it, but man, for some reason it felt if Curse of the Blood Rubies felt like fast on like what is it on like kind of the early Pilaf saga, I felt like Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle was practically speed blitzed through like getting Master Roshi's approval, even though technically I believe it's
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I agree with that. You know what's the funny thing? I feel like Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle is better as an actual standalone movie. Like it didn't take as much from how Curse of the Blood Rubies did, or yeah, Curse of the Blood Rubies did,
Yeah, no, it was
where
it's kind of it's kind of an extended version in a way of like Goku and Krillin first kind of coming together and whatnot.
yeah, like they were keeping this one as this is its own thing. This has little bits of what's happening with the manga and with the anime, but we're going to tell our own story. Whereas Curse of the Blood Rubies was like, we're going to speed run everybody getting together and the first wish happening, except we're going to cut out Pilaf. And I felt like that was the nice thing, was that they actually did, okay, this is an original kind of movie.
Hmm. Yeah, no, because yeah, I don't. I've been meaning to bring it up, but like the recruitment of Oolong and Yamcha happened within like practically 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah. And you know what's the funny thing though, is that actually how well it worked. Because it's all of a sudden like, okay, Oolong's the enemy. They start running. They run into Yamcha. Okay, now Yamcha's the enemy, and you learn that um, Oolong doesn't actually have much fighting ability. So now I'm gonna use enemy of my enemy is my friend in this way.
Hmm.
Not that he was really friends with Goku, but he was like, hey, I can use you to fight Yamcha, and I won't do anything. I won't try to do anything to you anymore.
Yeah, Yamcha's felt a little weird to me, but I kind of get it. Like the whole like at like Master Roshi's place and whatnot, where it's like he's like just kind of being like, "Oh, okay, sure, fine, I'll help it," trying to be kind of like standoffish and whatnot. But
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm like the Oolong one worked fine. I felt like Yamcha's was maybe just a tiny bit worse, but it still worked out overall. I also really liked the just the funny thing of him like falling into the female officer and then realizing like that it's female and him getting scared off because that is
At
like
tw- at 23:59 on Monday night, I or 20 no, it's not 23:59. 23:33 is when I saw Yamcha get his one and only W in life. And it never happened again.
yeah,
Uh for
yeah.
those who've watched, you know what scene I'm talking about. But yeah, he absolutely gets just call like after Dragon Ball. It's funny because Dragon Ball makes Yamcha seem like this tough guy. Even in Dragon Ball, he never gets an actual win. He never gets past the preliminary rounds.
Until
But
like the last one, I think he gets the farthest in that one, but then
does
he's
he?
still yeah, I think he gets into the quarterfinals in that one, but that's as far as he gets.
Dude, I want to see that Yamcha. No, I wanna figure that out. Did he actually?
I might be misremembering it, but I felt like it was.
Because I just remember they never give him a W. Like he never even gets close. 23rd runner up. Heston's 23rd Budokai, right? Or no, is it the 24th? No, 24th is the Cell Games, so it's the 23rd. Runner. No.
Yeah, he gets to the quarterfinals and fighting Kami.
Oh, well, my boy actually got into the rounds. I am surprised. Huh. Does he get into... What about the one before that when Tien's the winner?
That is,
No, Yamcha's a quarterfinalist as well. Huh.
yeah, it's the quarterfinals. I think it's where he normally gets knocked out.
Jackie Chun becomes a semifinalist. Krillin becomes a semifinalist. Goku's a finalist. And then Tien's the winner. Man, I still got to go back and watch most of those.
Yeah.
I love how they have this 24th World Tournament that nobody watched because it was like only filler that they talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was Mr. Vidal. Or not Mr. Vidal. Mr. Vidal's dad. That's what I meant to say. Mr. Satan wins.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, Vidal probably could have beat him. Let's be real. I would love to have seen a 10-year-old Vidal beat her dad.
Yeah, probably not wrong.
That's crazy, but yeah, it's funny how they give Yamcha W's up until, or well, no, he gets semi W's up until Z, and then they pretty much just scratch that as quick as possible, showing where he belongs.
Yeah. Sadly, Toriyama really gives Yamcha like all the L's in Z.
But I mean, somebody had to do it. They got rid of Raditz, so somebody had to take the position of L's.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that Tien still somehow takes W's through Z, but after that, no more.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up a picture from the Sleeping Princess. What do you think about the some parts of the Sleeping Princess movie, or at least how the big reveal?
I mean, I could see it coming from a mile away, but I still thought it was built up to pretty well. But I mean, I think also just kind of Dokkan taints my experience a bit because I know that you can collect the Sleeping Princess as a like a tradable item in the game.
Yeah, good point. Well, I was not specific enough because I was searching up pictures of Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle. Apparently, that's also an anime. So I'm gonna specify
Oh,
Dragon Ball now.
yeah, that might be a good idea. Yeah.
Alrighty. So what about Lucifer? I mean, interesting how they make him look like a nose for Ratu looking kind of guy. Makes him look a little bit like Dracula.
Yeah. No, I find it funny that like it's like he has like this kind of normal looking form when like Bulma meets him, so it's like the Bulma follows the whole typical it's a hot guy type thing, but then it's like he transforms and she's like, yep, nope, I'm out of.
He's like that for a lot of people. Like think about Zarbon.
Yeah, that is true, but I don't know if Toriyama had anything in particular to do with the designs in these movies.
Good point. He probably didn't. But when did this movie come out? Because if it came out after that scene, that's probably why they did something like that.
First one was 80, second was
S-
87.
and this one was 87.
If you need specific months, it was December 80 of 1986 and then July 1987. It was a really fast turnaround on those two.
Okay, if I could spell, that'd be nice. Alrighty. And Namekian Saga came out in 1990. Is that when it was? Huh. Manga. When did it come out? So manga releases from 1990 to or 1989 to 1990. No, so this movie predates that running gag,
Hmm.
or at least that joke. Hmm. So Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castles set a trend for Bulma always finding the lackluster guy. And then
Yeah,
they turn out to look really handsome and then their other form looks really not.
yeah, yeah. What did you How did you think of Goku and Krillin's like relationship in the second movie?
Um Pretty standard, I guess, for how early Dragon Ball was.
Yeah,
It really was that before the tournament style of, oh, we're in this together.
yeah. No, I mean, obviously, like I was just like in comparison to like how like their relationship developed over this time as like friends and whatnot.
Hmm.
I do say it
Um,
is. I do think it is pretty similar, but
yeah. It really does show the two having conflict during the what's it called? Just like how they're having conflict during the finding the stone
hmm.
little episode, and they're training before that, trying to become Roshi's pupils.
Yeah. I also find it funny that instead of like bringing back what he asked for, bringing back because I know it's like launch in the original as well, but it's like that ending up
Mhm.
being how it works out in this one is also pretty funny.
That was a good thing. That was a good tie off how they wanted to end that. I found it funny that I found it that they did a clever way to introduce her,
Hmm.
making the Ruby being the sleeping princess,
Yeah.
so that like Launch would actually have a reason to be there. She's not trying to steal a female. She's trying an actual princess. She's trying to steal a diamond.
Yeah, which
So
is very much in character for her.
yeah, and then somehow they just drag her back to Roshi's place. This one is a little less explained because she probably had her own way out at that point, but I mean,
Well, I mean, but she
it
sneaks
is what
been
it
turned
is.
back into like blue-haired Launch, which you know can't
Yeah.
exactly do too much in the way of fighting.
Well, I mean, even after all the fighting's done, Blue Haired Launch would have had a reason to like leave because there would have been no enemies. Whereas this time whereas in the anime at least, she's stuck between a rock and a hard place, being the police.
Yeah,
So they just kind of swoop in, save her, and then dip.
yeah. Also, I noticed that it's interesting that they actually moved Goku's Ozaru transformation from like what where it would technically be placed in like the Pilaf saga, which would be like kind of what the first movie's doing, and it's instead like the kind of the MacGuffin for this movie to get them free.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about that. They don't show it in Curse of the Blood Rubies at all, but they do show it in Sleeping Princess. And it's funny because they actually refer to it, everybody else refers to it as, oh, no, this is a problem because they all seen it before.
Hmm.
And Krillin hasn't. So I just found that funny that they were mentioning that one. So it's like, okay, so everything that happened in Pilaf still happened in this one. Now it's going off of it's going off that timeline instead of the last movies.
Yeah, even though if you technically watch these movies back to back, they technically seem like they link together really well.
Yeah, that was it's exactly how it felt. It was interesting.
Yeah, because I watched them back to back, and I'm like, oh yeah, this actually like transitions really well into this next one.
Mhm. Then that line comes up, and you're like, I don't remember you guys seeing that form before.
Yeah, I think if I'm maybe remembering this right, it might actually not have been mentioned that they've seen it before though in the sub. So like it might actually be kind of its own movie canon, at least based on the sub.
Well, that would definitely be nice, especially. Yeah, that would be nice if they would keep continuity between like movies and then have like the movies have their own canon for these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I don't know if that keeps up for the third one, but we'll definitely have to see when we get to the next two next time. But yeah.
yeah, the next I gotta figure out what's so the next one is
Next one is Mystical Adventure and the Path to Power.
Mystical Adventure. Okay, this is the one with our with Ariel-chan, one of Toriyama's first works, and then the other one
Yeah,
is
Arale and Tao Pai
not.
Pai.
Yep. I think I've only seen clips of the original Tao Pai Pai fight.
Yeah, I've only seen clips as well.
Dragon Ball to Power. I'm trying to figure out which one. Okay, so Path to Power will have movie 8. Okay, so it's Path to Power that has Goku in his GT outfit.
I think that is just like how the manga colors it, I think, potentially. Because like I think it goes more off the manga coloring in this one, because Bulma also has like the purple hair that
Purple
she
hair.
should have, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually check that out. Goku's E. What is it? Yeah, because that'd be very interesting if if GT actually had more continuity with his Dragon Ball Gi.
I mean, it would make sense considering what GT was trying to kind of achieve at the beginning.
Goku. Seeing a lot of stuff with
Well, actually, also, I guess because the time it was made, also 96.
96. Yeah, because that would have been when would that have been early GT?
Uh, it's definitely around the time of it, I have to imagine.
Oh, GT. Okay, Dragon Ball GT came out in 96.
So yeah, it
So
probably was somewhat a promotion for GT then.
yeah,
It's really weird that like
surprised
the
didn't think of Bulma's hair right.
yeah, it's also weird that like this fourth Dragon Ball movie technically comes out after all the other Dragon Ball Z films, at least except for Battle of Gods and Resurrection F.
Does it? When
Yeah,
was the last
Wrath of the Dragon came out in 95.
Yeah, you're right. Whoa, that's weird. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. And this one has more of a retelling, doesn't it? How long
I,
is Path to Power?
let me check.
It's an hour and 20-minute film.
Yeah. So it's definitely longer than the other ones, which I think average around like 50 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it seems like, yeah. Well, going off some of these scenes, it does the start of
Yeah, it does the start of
Dragon Ball.
Z, or not Z, Dragon Ball again. Yeah.
Hmm. The animation style looks good from the pictures I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
The Path to Power goes over the Red Ribbon Army saga.
Yeah, I like because
Uh,
like aid in the promotional and some of the promotional stuff.
hmm. And you scroll far enough, you just get to seeing Vegeta. So it's funny, but wow, yeah, it's surprising. I hadn't, or how this one came out. This is the last movie, basically the last Dragon Ball thing until,
Until Battle of
huh?
Gods.
Yeah, except for the GT. When did the GT movie come out? No, I guess GT's movie came out last 97.
Yeah, but it's technically not considered a movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's considered a special.
Huh.
Yeah, because they aired it on TV. It wasn't treated like a movie.
Must have must have been what they were calling it when they released it in the
In the
US and
US? Yeah.
yeah. That one was surprisingly not a bad movie.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly very much interested once we get to it, because, yeah, I
Yeah,
think it'll be, I don't know when we're gonna cover it, but it is gonna be one of the things that we cover.
yeah. Man.
It is fun. It is
I'm
fun
looking all
looking. It is fun
hmm?
looking back at all of these, though.
It is definitely to see, especially with how we're in the age where new Dragon Ball stuff is coming out.
Yeah.
So it's nice to look back and see where it's come from.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really glad that we're doing like this kind of retrospective on it.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how technology has increased smooth animations for stuff. Actually, 3D animation looking good.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you compare it to when CG was first used in Battle of Gods compared to now,
Oh, that was oh back when it released though, that was hype. Looking back at it, not as much.
I mean, I think they masked it pretty well because they never went straight up on it. Resurrection F, though, it's pretty noticeably bad.
Yeah. It's crazy to think of these lengths. Dragon Ball Superhero is an hour and 40 minutes. The first, no, the second Dragon Ball movie was 45 minutes.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it also just differs in what they were trying to do at the time with these movies and whatnot. Because, like, at this point, they were mostly just kind of like promoting what was kind of going on in the anime at that point.
Hmm.
But now it's like original stories and whatnot. And, like, you can slowly see the shift to it. Like, I think probably once we get around to, like, yeah, probably around Broly is like where they start becoming kind of original concepts.
No, the Dead Zone was pretty original. I mean, with
I guess I just mean by
yeah,
like in the broad sense of like there are things, but I mean to be fair, I think you could point it out in like nearly about every single one of these movies that are like,
yeah,
oh yeah, they took these specific things from the canon and kind of recreated them.
yeah. Uh, you the Dead Zone came out in 98 or 89. Why did I say 98? 89. So,
Yeah, they released it. Yeah, it's like about a year after the at least like the third Dragon Ball movie. So
yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a year after the mystical adventure.
yeah,
Crazy. Yeah. So it's crazy how far they've gone and how fast they were producing these because 99 then yeah, like 89 is when Dragon Ball Dead Zone came out and literally Cooler's Revenge was in 91.
Yeah, because I mean, like it seems like they were on like practically like a, for the most part, like a 6 month kind of time gap between a lot of them,
Yeah. I mean,
or like at least kind of around it. Like
yeah,
March and
Tree of Might came out in 99 or in 90 and then so did World's Strongest.
yeah, like March and July always seems to be like the dates that they aimed for back in the day for them.
Yeah. But between the two movies that we watched, which one did you like better?
I definitely think I'd have to say Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. As much as I liked Curse of the Blood Rubies, I feel like it was too it was too much of a retelling and not much of its own thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it may be interesting. Like every single time we do it, we just rank like at least for now, it'll only be like our favorite one. Next time maybe like our favorite two until we get like to our top five eventually. But
Hmm. Oh, I already know which couple are going to be in my top five.
yeah, I'm rewatching these mostly with like an open mind, so I'm curious to see if any can like change my mind on like how I thought of them because I haven't seen some of these in like a long time and some I haven't even seen at all. So
Yeah. I could say this. I haven't watched the Dragon Ball ones, so those are the ones that I'm going to be introduced to. Dragon Ball Z ones I've actually been running through. So when I had to switch over to night shift, I bought all the Dragon Ball movies and I just watched all of them back to keep myself up until like 4 a.m.
mm,
So it was a definite definite rerun. The only one that I missed was Wrath of the Dragons, which I have recently watched as well. So
oh yeah, yeah. Let's see if I remember what was the one that I think I liked. I think I liked BoJack Unbound the most. Like was the one that I remember like most fondly looking back upon.
yeah.
But I don't
You
know.
know
It
what I
might
think
also
we should
be
do?
because
One
Gohan's like my favorite character. But
that is very understandable. I just looked it up on tiermaker.com. They do have
uh
a Dragon Ball movies. I'm thinking after we've watched all of them, we should rank them and see where we like.
yeah, yeah, no, definitely. We should
It's to
definitely
be
do
in
that.
that. Cool.
Hmm.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that towards the end. Yeah, does that include like all the OVAs and the specials as well?
I think this one does because I see Trunks and Future Gohan. I see Dragon Ball Evolution. Oh gosh, are we gonna watch that for this?
I
See
hate
the
to say
Bardock
it.
special.
I hate to say it, but yes, we need to cover it all.
I think they also have the animes in here too, because I see Dragon Ball. I see the Supers anime stuff, Super Dragon Ball Heroes stuff. I think I see some of the. I wish I could tell by these images. That's the problem, is that these images aren't the greatest to see.
Well, we'll definitely figure it out by the time we get around to it. But yeah.
The s- ones I'm not seeing so far are um, Eradicate the Sands. Yeah, I'm not seeing the Eradicate the Sands one in here. I
Yeah,
think everything else is in here though.
that one's also just kind of weird because it has like multiple versions, I believe, right?
Yes, they had the original one that went out, and then they had this one.
Yeah, there's like the original one and then like the 2010 remake.
Yeah. That came out with the great game of Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2. I did enjoy playing that a lot.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So it's actually got the ones that have drawings are the manga. So they have the manga, they have the anime, and then they have the movies.
Oh, interesting.
The only movies they don't have, or the only movie they don't have, is the new one, Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
Yeah. Well, probably by the time we get to it, it'll either there'll be one with it, or we can just make one with everything that
Yeah.
we've seen.
Oh. It's going to be interesting. I think this doing a tier list is going to be interesting to see because once you get to like Cooler's Revenge and the Return of Cooler,
Mm-hmm.
or especially the Return of Cooler, I know this is a little bit off topic from the old Dragon Ball movies, but
Oh
I
no,
gotta
it's fine.
say, actually, I can actually
Don't
make
feel
this on
like it.
topic.
But
The animation style for these two movies were really good. That I can say. I mean, they only made it 50 minutes and 45 minutes, so that probably helped, but they made the animation look smooth. It didn't look like they were having budgeting issues at all for it. It seems like they tailored the time to it. The old Cooler Returns movie, where it's Metal Cooler, if
mm-hmm.
you watched some of those scenes, I mean, they made a good story, but you could tell that something was pressed. Either time was pressed or money was pressed.
Yeah.
So that's at least the nice thing about these older ones. We're watching them. They actually look like they had time to animate them. Does
Yeah.
that change? Which is crazy to think because Wrath of the Dragon and Fusion Reborn both came out in the same year and they had like peak animation as well.
Oh yeah, no, and honestly, only like what is that, like 3 months in between them? I mean, obviously, I think they were probably working on them simultaneously, but still, it's quite impressive.
Yeah. And then there's Dragon Ball Evolution in 2009. Gosh.
What do you mean? It's clearly a live action masterpiece.
What's funny? They got the girl from the actress from Shameless in there. And I didn't realize that until like 10 minutes ago.
Huh. Yeah, I've honestly never gone to look at like what the actors from this have done.
Justin Chatwit. What else is he on? Who's Justin Chatwit? Oh yeah, he was at the beginning of Shameless. Funny. You could tell that nobody from this got any major roles after that. I don't think.
Yeah, well, I mean, this movie had like kind of all sorts of problems. I honestly feel bad for I don't remember who it is, but Piccolo's actor definitely actually like went out and read the source and like really wanted to make Piccolo accurate. That's why we actually got a green Piccolo in that movie.
Wait, that was the reason why?
Yeah,
The fact that it had to be the actor had to make it so that it was a green Piccolo's. That hurts.
yeah.
Oh gosh, that hurts.
To
Though
be
he's been in
fair,
some pretty big shows.
yeah. Also, to be fair, the director of that movie was kind of forced into it and not given really any of the budget it had originally, I think.
Well, the whole reason why that movie was even made was because Fox wanted to keep the rights to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, at least for the like to put out films for it
Yeah, so they had to make something just to.
to
Yeah.
appease it.
Yeah. Well, that and because if I think they don't make something within a specific amount of time, they lose the rights to something. So they were like, "Well, we're gonna make a Dragon Ball movie. We don't care how bad it is."
Yeah, no, that's kind of how they were with the X-Men like projects towards the end of its lifespan as well.
Yeah, but I feel like that was more of a cash grab. That was definitely they were trying to do stuff with it, but it was because the X-Men name had made money since they were successful before.
Hmm.
I don't remember a live action Dragon Ball movie other than this one, and this one's notorious. This isn't like a good one, so
Oh yeah, no,
I
no,
know
I
that there have
know.
I know there have been others. I just don't know of them.
Yeah.
Let's see, because I
Oh
know that
well, actually,
there's
no, no. X-Men isn't a good example. Fantastic Four, that's the example to use.
yeah, I would agree with that. They tried and they just
They made Fan Four stick.
yeah.
Honestly, who thought it, the logo design for the 2015 Fantastic Four movie was good?
I don't know. I forget that movie exists. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either, but I'm just like that logo design is pretty bad. Like that's why people call it Fan Four Stick because the logo design of it is so bad.
Fantastic Four logo. Oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No.
Yeah, you can see
What
why people.
even?
Yeah, you can see why people call it Fan Four Stick, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out why this movie was even made.
Literally just to keep the Fantastic Four license.
I like how they got the guy from Whiplash. They did get Killmonger, I'm pretty sure.
Hmm. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan it plays
Michael B.
the
Jordan.
Human Torch, which just goes to show the people who play Human Torch usually just end up playing, at least the
Better
focus,
roles.
end up playing better roles in the MCU.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure that there's the one that plays Susan Storm. I'm trying to think. She looks familiar, but I just don't know what she is. What she plays. I know she plays other characters in something, but I can't think of.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either. Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
well, back on to better movies. So, Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that about for the first two movies? I can't think of too much more to add.
Yeah, I feel like really those like they weren't bad movies. They did really good with the animation. The stories were fine. They
It's
played a lot off the or off the manga and anime. So it's not as memorable. Like there's not as much to talk about because it's you're talking about half of the anime and then you're talking about half of the movie and it's only a 40-minute movie.
yeah. No, it's like honestly, it's not to downplay these movies, although
Yeah.
maybe Curse of the Blood Rubies to a bit of an extent. But like
Hmm.
Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle, I think for the most part works a lot better just because it is its own standalone plot.
Hmm.
Yeah, Curse of the Rubies or Curse of the Blood Rubies just no.
Yeah, no, there's about like 10, 15 minutes out of a 15-minute movie of like actual
New content.
original concept.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, original content. Whereas the Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle for 45 minutes, it is about 25 to 30 minutes of its own content, but it still has a lot of that piggybacking off of what was going on in the anime
Oh
at the
yeah,
time.
for sure. Like a lot of these kind of early movies are like maybe not as much like with Dead Zone, but
Hmm.
definitely I think World's Strongest takes a lot more of the Vegeta kind of stuff. Or not World's Strongest.
No,
Tree of
because
Might.
Tria Might, yeah. Tria Might definitely did take a lot more off that. I feel like once they hit Dragon Ball Z, they were more comfortable with bridging out.
Yeah,
Like they
no,
had
like
stuff that were similarities, but in no means did the story make it look like they were picking up or trying to do a retelling. It is
mhm,
like absolutely out there.
yeah, I'm
We're
like
gonna.
but we'll definitely get to those pretty soon. But
Yep.
yeah. Next we'll be covering Mystical Adventure and the Path to Power, finishing up the Dragon Ball movies, and then we'll be moving on to the Z movies after that.
Woo! Can't wait for those.
Yeah.
Or, well, we're not gonna have to wait long considering the those two aren't that the next two aren't gonna be that long except well,
Path,
Path to Power is gonna be longer. That's at least gonna be
yeah, but it's not like I mean it's longer, but like Mythical Adventure is pretty short.
yeah. How long is Mythical Adventure? 48 minutes, yeah. So we're gonna go with the old. And we're gonna be out of the old Dragon Ball animation style and goofy gags. It's gonna be sad, but
Yeah. It is actually honestly like even though like I neither of us I think didn't grow up on like the original Dragon Ball. Did you grow up on
hmm.
C or
My introduction was GT, so
oh
then I went, yeah.
my introduction was Z Kai, so I got like a bridge to Z.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
But
but no, like honestly, I feel like the nostalgia that these movies give me, even though I've never experienced these movies, is actually surprisingly quite strong. So
yeah, that's the thing. It takes you back. It takes you back to those adventures, how early Dragon Ball Z was, how if you started reading Dragon Ball and watching the anime, you really go back and look at this animation style, the gags, how goofy they were, how it took itself somewhat seriously, but it didn't need to be serious. It
mhm,
could take itself serious, but it didn't need to be a serious show. And I feel like that's the nice thing, and we're gonna be seeing that for some of these, but at some point it is gonna become they have jokes here and there, but mostly they're gonna be doing serious fighting.
yeah, which
And that's gonna be
I mean, like it's kind of nice that Super kind of goes back and tries to blend the two a bit better. Sometimes to middling effects, but sometimes to good effects, I think.
yeah. But
But yeah, otherwise, is that about it?
I think that's all that I have. They're pretty short, sweet. If you want to get a little bit of synopsis, definitely go check them out. I don't know where you're gonna find them, but I know you can find one of them on Facebook. Not sponsored by Meta at all, so please don't do anything Facebook.
Yeah, I think I saw them on Funimation, but I could be mistaken as
I
well.
saw them were on Funimation, but they're not on Crunchyroll because I gotten rid of my Funimation account because they were like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna switch everything from Funimation to Crunchyroll, so you might as well just get rid of it."
Yeah,
2 months later.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're slowly moving over movies, at least now. I think they've moved over practically all their series from Funimation, so
Yeah.
it's getting there slowly, very slowly. But regardless. Thank you so much for watching. Join us back next time for where we cover the second two Dragon Ball movies. And until then, catch you again.
Bye.